Alright, this is another post commentary for a speedrun. This time it will be the any percent Bass mod. Now, Bass mod is pretty old. It was made as a mod and different levels, custom levels actually, for the very original Lego Rock Raiders game. But it's got remade for Manic miners, and it's really well done. I actually enjoy running this ever since I really optimized, because it can be pretty long when you do it casually. But thanks to Manic Miners, there's also a couple of new features that can make it easier and can bring some really interesting strategies. Although I have removed a couple of those strategies because I found more straightforward ways to do it. So for example, in this very first map, I used to do the strategy, uh, get a tunnel scout, upgrade the tunnel scout to be able to drill on its own, and then have a miner grab a dynamite and go into the tunnel scout. Because there's a cavern with rocks that are straight on top of the water, but you also have to cross lava, so the tunnel scout can do both. And then I would use dynamite to get through one hard rock, because the miner can carry it along with the tunnel scout. But as you see now, I don't bother with upgrading, I just straight up go with the tunnel scout, drill that little spot, and now I have to cross over lava, and I go to a different spot. I also delete my entire base, because I just collected enough crystals in the first section, and now over here, I'll just found a lot of crystals in one little spot. So I'm drilling the ore seam, because drilling ore seam drops randomly ore. For some reason, the AI didn't want to go build straight away. It took him a bit long to realize what I wanted him to do. I built one path and I just plop down as many tool stores as I can, because they're basically free. And with that, it also makes it a lot faster to clear up having multiple tool stores, because, you know, paths make them walk faster. And yeah, now you'll see the time save compared to the other tag I just said. This map, it's being pretty generous. You have already a couple buildings, you also have a support station. There's no limitations on oxygen, so you can just straight up plonk 20 miners and not have to worry about that. But you also notice I also have vehicles I have to cross over lava and water. And you really have to do that, because Bassmod kind of has like a sort of puzzle sense, where like, oh, this is a dead end. But wait, what if I drill around? So you see the map is now starting to open more, and now from the water side I can drill now towards my base again to open the map up further. So splitting them up, really, you really have to do it, because there's no other way else to beat it. Once I have enough crystals and I have 20 miners, I also start to delete buildings that have crystals, because we need crystals, and buildings hold 2 or 3 crystals, depending what building it is. So the power station is 2, the life support is 3, super teleport is 3. I think the upgrade station is also 3, I'm not sure on that part actually. But I'm also now deleting tool stores back in the base, because else some of the AI may prefer to go to the original tool store, which is slower. So I'm trying to compact the map in a sense, where like I want them to focus to one specific area and basically move over. And having life support, for example, sometimes if they're hungry, they'll completely ignore you, and then they'll go to the life support, even though you said no, drill this first. No, they'll just ignore it. So sometimes it's better to delete the life or support station. So for Drillinite, it's actually pretty close to the original, it's just a bit longer. Just drill straight forward, find your tool store and get crystals. Except of course, as you may have noticed, in the standard campaign you only need 5 crystals, maybe 10 crystals. The Bass mod already starts with 30 crystals, and for this mission it's 40 crystals already. So it really starts to amp up. Another thing you notice, I also sometimes don't bother to build any base, because it turns out to be slower, because you're basically spending time building a base rather than straight up drilling. I do build a power pad so I can put a couple extra tool stores. Because again, it's free paths basically, once you have a path to build a tool store, because you get extra paths, which means the miners will walk faster.
Alright.
I also use something called grouping. I guess that's the way to say it. Basically, I select a couple miners, and then I hit Ctrl 1. Now that those selected few are attached to the button 1, so I'm pressing 1, drill that. Press 1, drill that. Because else they will walk back all the way to the tool store, because that's the default behavior. Going back to the tool store if there's nothing to do, or they'll go to the support station or the canteen, because there are maps where I use the canteen because it's a cheaper support station for the hunger issues, because some maps are too long and I can't do it without a support station. So then I'll plop a canteen, just so they don't walk all the way back to the main base. But yeah, for this map there's not much to talk more about. The next map has is a little more technical, and it used to be actually a little, I don't know, a tricky map for me. Because the next map, you barely have any crystals, you're low on oxygen, and the crystals are also hidden behind hard rock, and they're like in very specific spots. And your objective is building a support station and a geological center. But what I found out is Manic Miners doesn't fully check if the support station stays up or even if it's powered. As long it's built for, once, like it's completed once, it just checks it off like, okay, you're done. I don't care what happens with the support station after anymore. So what I'm doing is I'm juggling resources. I'm getting the very bare minimum. There's 3 crystals just around here. I do need to dynamite a little bit. So I need to have the tool store to level 3 in order to have dynamite. But what I do is, I build a teleport pad, upgrade it, build a power station, upgrade it, then I lay the foundation for the support station. I wait a couple seconds just in case, and then I lay the foundation of the geological center, then I delete the power station, and because the support station foundation is older, they want to build the support station first. They use the resource from the power station. Once the support station is up, I delete the support station immediately, and then they will reuse the resources to build the geological center, and then that beats just the mission. Made it from a tricky mission to a very straightforward one.
Well done.
And I think you can even juggle it further. I think you can juggle it as much as you can with these resources. Until maybe you run out of space or you run out of ore, because you do need paths in order to lay a foundation down. So that there is some limitation. That's pretty cool, you can do it this way. Next one is Rubble Trouble. I need to dynamite a lot of hard rock to get to a section where there's a lot of crystals. And I do place a forward tool store, because I don't want to stay in the original spot, because it's too far away. So eventually I'll start to delete the old tool store. I think I did, yeah, there we go. And now I hope to get to level 3 ASAP. And then I have to start dynamite my way through all the hard rock. And here again, I just manually grab the raiders, because there's not a lot of RNG in this game. There's a lot of, basically, think of it this way, the entire map is in a grid pattern. You can kind of see it, because everything is a square wherever I press on the ground or on a rock. That also includes all the monster scripts. Those are also very stuck on this specific spot, so you can avoid monsters that way. I'll talk more about it later in the run when it comes relevant. But what's also true is energy crystal spawns are also very fixed towards certain spots, so I know where to drill, I know what to avoid. And so once you really start to know about these spots, yeah, it comes really straightforward to speedrun this. But what is random though, as you can see, I was kind of like, why is no one grabbing dynamite? So the assignment of which miner does what, that part is a little random. What you also just saw me do is I was plopping a tool store and seeing what is a viable spot, because sometimes there's too much of a height difference, and so it's not a valid spot for a building to be set. So I was kind of moving the foundation and found like, okay, this spot will work, I need a pad next to it. And then I can build a tool store. I did lose a bit of time. Sometimes I like to put the tool store even closer to that crystal spot. Now this mission, very interesting, is actually faster than the remaster campaign. Usually the remaster campaign is faster than Basmod because, you know, Basmod has the insane requirements for all the crystals, but missions like this where you just have to look for miners, yeah, no, they're really quick. And this one's really close to the standard campaign. I think the standard campaign is only like 20-30 seconds faster in-game time, which translates towards real time like 10 seconds, because we do play at 300% game speed. Now this next one is a hold up. This is kind of similar to Rubble Trouble, I guess. A lot of dynamites needed. I also moved the tool store, although I do keep the original one for later. But I do want to build a second one, just so there's one closer. Because I do need to focus my dynamites in that section. I also secure a lot of the walls in that little corridor, because it's a bit of a death trap.
An energy crystal has been found.
And having all the rubbles around slows them down. So here I'm focusing my dynamite. I'm also, you may have noticed, I sometimes press the 1, 2, 3, which is the priorities menu. Depending what I need and how far I am in the map, I kinda turn on, off, grab ore, or clear rubble, or sometimes I even turn off crystals in some maps. Because there's so many crystals, and the crystal priority is pretty high up, and sometimes I want them to focus drilling or focus on building stuff. Because, for example, if I do turn off crystals and I need to build a building with crystals, and there are crystals on the ground, they'll still grab it. So that doesn't matter. And also, sometimes that little glitchy thing happens. I don't know what it is, where the camera just goes way up and down. Yeah, you can see I'm kind of prioritizing dynamiting up there on the top part. I do dynamite slowly away some of the other rocks, because there's some of them that have crystals. And for example, I dynamite that to make a little opening, a little shortcut, so they don't have to walk all the way around in that little tight spot. So there it is. And here again, I told them manually, like, nope, drill that, don't go back to the tool store. Because again, that's the little bit of randomness that's there. And now here again, I'm fiddling around with the foundation of the tool store, looking like, okay, how can I place it? Because certain directions is not allowed or is not valid for the game. And then I build a pad next to it, and then I can plop the tool store right there, because there will be a lot of crystals next to that tool store once I open up the bigger cavern. Which is this one. Because that's already like 6 crystals right next to the tool store. And that little spot where I'm also telling how to drill, even manually, that also has a lot of crystals.
An energy crystal has been found.
Now here in Frozen Frenzy, this was another map that had a really technical aspect to it. Actually very similar to the first map. So I used to build up a tiny little base and get 3 tunnel scouts, each of them loaded with a miner that has dynamite. And then I would blast through hard rock. But I found out, and actually kind of really random, I found an old archive video of a speedrun for this map in the original game, which was faster to do this way. So I get 7 miners, each of them grabbed a shovel, and I delete the tool store. Because that's now the default behavior of the monsters. If there's no tool store and there's no crystals, they'll just pop in the map and they'll just pop out. Although I did feel preventing a spawn, because you just saw a monster spawned that was grabbing a crystal. If I drilled that corner properly and not just halfway cancel it, I would have prevented it. But it doesn't matter, because still drilling that corner prevents more spawns to come. Because monsters can only spawn from straight walls and that are not solid rock or seams. So knowing that that spot has a monster spawn and drilling that corner, yeah, that prevents it. And now I just manually click like clear this rubble, because we need 10 ores to get to level 3. I do want to keep them a bit around here. Once it's level 3, I tell them, you know, dynamite that wall, then I dynamite the second wall, and then I take manual control and I grab a dynamite, because I have to go further to a different spot, which did not have a hard rock available to dynamite yet until I blasted the second one, because it opens a very long cavern over water that also opens up the bit that I drilled up way earlier in this map. So right, for this map, this is actually a slightly different route than I used to take. I have like older runs where I would take explosive action, seamless, and cold comfort. But I changed it pretty recently to the hard rock life, molten meltdown, and slimy simple. Now the hard rock life is a tiny bit longer than explosive action. But molten meltdown is like half the time almost compared to seamless, and slimy simple is also like half the time of cold comfort. And they're pretty consistent maps. So here there's a lot of hard rock I have to get through, so I need a bigger vehicle to drill through all this. So I want a chrome crusher or a granite grinder. I do start with a granite grinder because you're a bit starved on the crystals. And this is another map where the oxygen is not a limit, so I have 20 minus. So I notice, hey, I can't get the granite grinder, even though I had the teleport pad up and I turned it off to save crystal. But I notice, you can maybe see it by the timer, there's a crystal on the lava. Now I could grab it manually, but I thought that might cost a little too much time. So I was like, okay, I'll just dynamite one hard rock further and get a crystal, and then I can spawn the granite grinder. But it is a bit unfortunate, so that's also a very minor randomness that's in this game. Sometimes the crystal just tumble over a bit further than you might want to see, and then just tumble in, into the lava, which doesn't damage the crystals. There's multiple ways to get it. If it's that reasonably close, you could go in first person, because first person has a bit more reach to grab items in the lava or in water. Or you could spawn in a tunnel transport and then it grabs it automatically that way. But it costs too much crystals for this late for this kind of map. If it's like a later game map, for example Hot Stuff or Rocky Horror, then yeah, sure, I'll have a couple tunnel transport running around, or flying around rather. So I was like, I never bothered to grab it. Another thing again, you see, I moved the base up. I deleted the old base once I have both the chrome crusher and the granite grinder. I also deleted that tool store just to eliminate the small possibility that maybe one miner prefers to go to that
An energy
tool
crystal
store
has been
rather than the
found.
close ones. And you also notice I'm also still using dynamite, so I'm kind of alternating like, okay, I'm gonna drill there,
An
it
energy
takes
crystal
X
has
amount
been
of seconds.
found.
Okay, dynamite that spot, it's not going to bother the vehicles.
A new cavern has been discovered.
An energy crystal has been found.
And I do also kind of have to calculate in my head like how many crystals I have. So I need 50. But the Chrome Crusher has 8, because once you delete it you get 8 back. And the Granite Grinder has 6. So you have 14 in total. So I need to be at 36 in order to meet the threshold of 50 crystals. I was still looking and eyeballing like, should I go for it? And I was like, nah, I'll drill a bit more hard rock than I used to for this map.
An energy crystal has been found.
And here looking back now, I actually had enough, but I don't know why. I was kind of afraid I didn't have enough crystals. So I was like, oh, I'll keep drilling a little bit. But I could have already brought the vehicles back.
An energy crystal has been found.
And I think I then realized, yeah, I deleted the the granite grind over there. Because there were still a couple miners around, although some of them were not grabbing crystals. And the chrome crusher I'll just bring back to the tool store and delete it next to it. So it's a little faster.
An energy crystal has been found.
Now Molten Meltdown is another very straightforward map. Again, oxygen is not a limit, and we do need a support station because I want to bring in the small digger. Because it's a bit faster to have that one drilling around than manually by miners. So now I'm waiting to upgrade the tool store. Again, build a teleport pad. Get the power station in, and then the support station in. Now this also has a little section of like that puzzle-ish element that we had earlier in the Mine Over Manor, where you need to go around lava or water, in this case it's lava, to open up the cavern from the other side in order to open up the map fully.
An energy crystal has been found.
So, which is why I need tunnel scout. Did I say tunnel transport again? I keep confusing the names of those. It's the tunnel scout, the cheap one. So here I'm now calling in the small digger. I was looking at my crystal count and I saw like, okay, I'm over 3, so I can also call in now the tunnel scout, and already hopefully someone gets in, and someone did. To already move over. And now I'm deleting the support station, so the miners don't go back to the base for some sandwiches. I should also delete now the power station already. I don't know why I did it, or did not, but I noticed I didn't, so I was like, oh yeah, I should delete that. Here I was kind of debating, like, do I want to build a power pad all the way to the left side? Despite it's already focused, so there, I'll plop another tool store. I have way more than enough ores to get it to level 3, because I need to dynamite a couple spots. I think I need 2 or 3 if I remember correctly. Technically the small digger can also get through it, but it takes longer.
An energy crystal has been found.
Ah, 2, yeah, because you can see now just barely in the corner there's the energy crystal scene. So now I'm waiting till someone blows it up, and then the small digger can dig the seam faster. And then I'll bring the digger back to the tool store. And again, like in the early maps, I also delete parts of the base, or sometimes the complete base, because some of the buildings hold crystals. I lost a little time on that, but not too bad. So Slimy Simple is pretty generous. It starts off with a partially made base, and also some of the buildings already are higher leveled, so I could plonk a support station pretty much instantly without needing for ore to upgrade. Then I also made sure 2 miners grab the green laser gun, because there will be slimy slugs in this mission. I also triggered the alarm, so when I spawn in a vehicle, the ones with the lasers won't go in the vehicle, because that can happen, and then it kinda messes up my setup, at least how I do it. And now I'm just drilling away with the small digger. I also dynamite that area. I could drill it, because it's a pretty soft rock, but then the small digger might go there, and I kinda want to have, or keep the digger in that right spot. So there, and now there's hard rock behind it, so then I was like, okay, yeah, dynamite that. And also dynamite the bottom part. Again, it's soft rock, but I want to keep the small digger up in the north. And by blowing up that little soft rock, it opens another cavern, which has a single crystal, which is just barely enough to get over the threshold of 64. Because I'm doing as minimal as possible. And you can see an energy crystal seam on the left, but I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna drill it yet, because if I drill there, the raiders might flop back and forth, you know, between this northern part or, you know, going down there. I also now have the alarm on constantly, because there will be slimy slugs will constantly bother, and I don't want to, you know, think too much about it. I was like, alright, those two can dedicate themselves to dealing with that. Well, I'm just drilling away. So yeah, once that whole northern part with the water is done, yeah, I'm now moving over everyone towards the bottom. You may also notice I'm a bit limited on oxygen, because it does say 4 minutes. I do that on purpose, have 2 extra minis, even though the support station can't, you know, replenish the oxygen. But it's more than enough time for me to beat the map before, you know, the oxygen runs out. The next map will be the first one that gets a little harder, especially if you don't know it, which is Lava Lava. Alright, so now I'm done with drilling everything. I just delete the small digger, and then I have to delete the support station and the power station. But you see, now I have barely any time left. Now it's like 30 seconds. But I just barely have enough to do it. 64 out of 64. And like I said, the next mission will be a lot harder. Right, so for this map, there's a couple of things you need to do. I first reinforce those 2 hard rocks, because there's a time-based monster script spawn, so if I don't do it, I'll get monster spawns. I don't know the timing actually, I forgot about it, but... So basically I just first do that. As soon as you reinforce walls, you basically prevent a monster spawn. Once I have enough ores to get the tools to telemetry, I start to blow up a few walls. And of course, because this map takes a bit longer, because now you see it's now 70 crystals, I do need to have a build base up. A base build up. And this is also actually one of the only maps I'll grab the ice gun, because there's only lava monsters and the ice gun is more effective against them. It does more damage, it also slows them down. So usually I want to have about 4. And then again, you see here I did a quick grouping up. So I have all the guys with guns grouped up as 1, just in case. And again, I'm slowly opening up the map. There's a huge pit of lava in the middle, so I'm not drilling too far upwards from my base, because then it opens up a potential shortcut for the monsters to do it. And also there's a couple of triggers there. So I'm basically trying to avoid it. I also made sure the gun guys are in the front, so they can instantly kill this monster, because he's always there. And here, this is actually the first map where I used the canteen as a more forward operation base when miners are hungry, so they don't have to go all the way back to the main base. Now I do need to spawn in a chrome crusher, because there's a couple of hard rock. And what I also need to spawn is a lot of transport trucks, because there's a lot of crystals in the middle next to the monsters. So I kind of want to have about 6 or 7 transport trucks, so they can snatch it under their feet and then just drive off. Once the chrome crusher's up, and then I'll just say, okay, don't bother with grabbing ore anymore. I also even said don't bother with cleaning up dirt anymore. Just have to focus on crystals. And here now I start to spawn in a couple trucks. I think I have now 3. Yeah, I have 3 trucks going around. And I'm also slowly opening up the map a bit more to have like little shortcuts. So, you know, they don't have to walk all the way around. And here again I made sure the Chrome Crusher first prioritized its nearest point to drill, because sometimes they do it in order by which one you said drill this first. Here I do another thing again, where I'm like triggering the alarm and making sure the ones with guns are not going in the truck. But I wasn't sure if I have enough gun guys, so I did tell like 3 extra to, okay, grab guns. And now I'm telling all the transport trucks to get closer, because some of them were still chilling in the main base. So now I'm drilling open the main part. And there it is. So now all the trucks are trying to snatch as much as possible and they just drive off. Then I also want to drill those 2 hard rocks in the very top, because those are spawns. So every time someone passes in that little cavern on the left side, or that little hallway, it will spawn more monsters. So just having those 2 drilled, and then it's fine. And now I'm deleting all the trucks slowly, because, you know, 3 crystals each truck, it adds up quickly. And the Chrome Crusher has 8 on its own, so now I'm trying to delete more, but sometimes it selects the miners instead of them. And then I'm deleting the super teleport, and also delete the support stage just in case. But actually I didn't need to, only the super teleport was just enough. Now split down the middle. It kind of plays out like in the standard campaign, though it is a bit extended, and I did actually drill sometimes the wrong direction. Like for example on the right side, I think I should have gone to the left of it, or was this the correct one? I think that was the correct one, actually, looking no bad. I also was making sure that I have crystals priorities turned off, ores, and cleaning up rubble. Because there's a lot of rubble and there's a lot of crystals as you go, and it's a long way down. I also made sure on the left side of the map that I drilled a little hallway towards the end where there was a dead end, so it looked like I messed up and I went to a dead end, but it's actually used for later to dynamite from the base outwards, so that gives a little shortcut later.
An energy crystal has been found.
A new cavern has been discovered.
So yeah, now they're pretty close up to meeting each other now.
A new cavern has been discovered.
An energy crystal has been found.
And now we just have to get towards the middle.
A new cavern has been discovered.
An
Here I was double checking if I did turn off the crystals and the rubble clearing and the ore picking up, because else they'll bulk across the map. And then it gets really annoying. So what I do is, before I start to pick up crystals, I want to drill first around this base. So you see me putting all the drill orders all around the base.
crystal has been found.
And once I start to see like, okay, they're getting pretty far. I think I even made sure I dynamite at one spot. Yeah, there. I dynamite that spot, so we have a little shortcut.
An energy crystal
And now I'm like, okay, you guys can start to grab a few crystals. And I think I turn it off because I want to have the small digger. Because there's like one concentrated area. Here I manually even said like, okay, go in there. Then I turned off grab crystals, and now I can focus getting a couple trucks. Because now the raiders are like, okay, there's not much to do. We don't need to clear ore, or grab ore. We don't need to clear rubble. And once I have a couple trucks running, then yeah, I'll tell them like, okay, you can grab crystals now. And I did notice there was one guy that did not go in the truck, because there's one empty truck still chilling there. So I was like, okay, whoever is closest, yeah, get in the truck. And now I'm basically like looking at the transport trucks if they're not doing anything. So like now the one is chilling. I'm like, okay, you have nothing to grab anymore. I'll delete it. Slowly converting the trucks back to crystals again. And once I know like, okay, I have enough, I'll delete the support station and the power station for another couple crystals, and then we're done.
Both teams rescued some of
Now, interestingly about Don't Panic is that it starts off as a at 100% game speed, so basically the default normal speed. Thankfully, there's a shortcut for it to make it fast again, but I do appreciate that it slows down a bit, because yeah, you can see the lava spreading really fast, and if one raider dies, then it's mission over. At least in the other campaigns. I never test on Basmalt. If one dies, it's over. And this is also one mission where the grouping to have press 1 for the whole group to go towards a direction is really useful, especially at this game speed. Now it may look that the base will be overflown by lava, but it will eventually stop, so I know I'm safe.
An energy crystal has been found.
But it is a tricky spot to build, because it may not look good, but there's quite a little incline there in that section. So I'll have to fiddle a bit with the power station. You can see I'm like fiddling on, oh, it actually fits there. And here again, I'm like support station, like can I connect it? Nope. Okay, I need an extra path there to get the support station up. And I also want to build a second one. So here I was again messing around with the foundations, like seeing like, okay, I'll build another support station right next to that one. And I'll build a super teleport there, because the super teleport is a bit tricky to place in certain maps. Because, you know, it's a 2x2 building. So here I'm a bit low in ore, but now I just barely have enough to upgrade the super teleport, get a chrome crusher in, and now I'm telling them, okay, don't bother with ore anymore, don't bother to clear out. And then I also bring in the tunnel transport, and I can grab the chrome crusher and have it transport over the lava. Now you could do it, thinking about it, you could also do a different way. So there's a feature in Bassmod that is very unique to Bassmod's campaign only. And this was actually even original in the LEGO Rock Raiders, also only for Bassmod. If you spawn in the large mobile laser cutter, you can give it a unique upgrade to drive over lava, and that's also how you can get here. But I feel like it's fast to just get a chrome crusher and then just piggyback with the tunnel transport.
An energy crystal has been found.
Because the other big difference is the large mobile laser cutter, it only drills with lasers, and you don't have a recharge seam. Well, there's no 2 in the middle there, but I feel like that just adds more complexity that is not necessary in my opinion, because the tunnel transport will be occupied constantly recharging all the crystals, whereas if I use a chrome crusher, just use a drill, which doesn't drain any energy crystals, so it just removes the need for that, so the tunnel transport can focus on grabbing crystals. I also spawned in a granite grinder to drill a bit up in the north section. I also called in another tunnel transport just to make the pickup a bit quicker, because I felt like it took a bit too long. Although no one is getting in yet, if you look at it. I think now someone's getting in. Yep, there you go.
An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been found.
A new cavern has been discovered. A new cavern has been discovered.
An energy
you say,
crystal
Chief.
has been found. An energy crystal has been
And for now it's just drilling away, because we need 100 crystals. Although we're pretty close to it, because each tunnel transport, it's like 10 on its own, and we have 2 of them running. I even deleted the granite grinder there. I was like, the tunnel transports are near it. And now I was kind of looking around like, should I drill a little more? And I wasn't sure, so I was like, okay, I'll drill a tiny bit more. But I think I realized quickly, like, oh, wait, I might have enough. I think I drilled that little section.
crystal has been
And
found.
I think I was kind of looking like, where should I drill? And then I was like, oh, no, we have enough. Because we have like, oh, I can drill a little more than I expected. So looking back now, technically I have enough. Yeah, now I'm deleting, I now realized that I have enough.
A new cavern has
Nope, apparently not.
all 20 energy crystals. Listen.
So that one can be done faster, now looking back to it. But when you play at 300% game speed, you know, you sometimes don't have the time to really look into it. Because you're like, okay, drill, 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 get more, and get more. Right, so for this mission, Run the Gauntlet, it's quite different from both the standard campaign and the remaster campaign. In remaster campaign and in the standard campaign, this is a really quick mission. Just find your old base and you're fine. But with this one, it's find all the lost rock raiders around and get 120 crystals. But I do prioritize getting towards the base, because, you know, you need to start a base. But I am drilling, as you can see, that very corner I was drilling there, because there was another lost rock raider. And I'm also deleting some of them. So yeah, we do have a small digger, and we have one raider over there. But I also want to make sure to already start building a base, even though the base is pretty close to me now. But there's a lot of hard rock I have to get through, and I only have a small digger, so it takes a bit of a while. So I was like, may as well start to already build my base. I end up even deleting that base we have to find, because there's no mission fill trigger if something breaks from there. And over here I was going back towards the very bottom, and I was like, okay, I'll delete that raider, I'll delete that raider, I'll keep the small digger around. And also delete it because, well, we are at a population cap of 10 because we have no support station up.
An energy crystal has been found.
And this is also one of the things where I have the crystals turned off, because there's so many crystals, it would take too long for them to grab all the crystals before I have the base up. So I'm prioritizing having a base up over getting the crystals. I can get them eventually. And here I was thinking, what do I do with the loader dozer? I think eventually I'll delete it. I think for now I will let it clear out some of the rubble. Yeah, and this is where I was like, yeah, I'll delete it. Just to have another raider do other things that are more useful than clearing up rubble. For example, building base. And here I switched to having them grab some crystals, just so the base gets powered up. And eventually I think I even quickly flick it off, unless I let them grab everything. I think I let them grab everything almost. Nope, turn it off. It was almost the last one. And now we found the base, and I'll just delete the buildings that has crystals. And then I get some transport trucks. I also want a chrome crusher. I want a tunnel transport as well. And having now 2 support stations, I can have up to 20 miners. Although it seems I am stuck at 18. Maybe I'll eventually get more. I also accidentally spawned the wrong vehicle. I spawned another chrome crusher instead of a tunnel transport because I wanted tunnel transport, but then I later had enough crystals.
An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been found.
A new cavern has been discovered.
An energy crystal has been found.
And for now, it's just drilling away. I did have a couple guys grab some lasers, because there will be monster spawns.
An energy crystal
And the
has been
tunnel
found.
transports are just nice, that they can cross over water.
An energy crystal crystal has been
and
found.
automatically grab everything. Yeah, I made around the lava a little path to go around. I also built in another forward tool store, just so they can deliver it a bit quicker. So they don't have to go all the way around the base.
An energy crystal has been
And
found.
from this little cavern, we can make a shortcut closer to that tool store. I think this is the spot where the first monster will spawn. Yep, there he is.
An energy crystal has been found.
A new cavern has been discovered.
So now we only need to find one more miner, because we found all the other ones.
A landslide has occurred.
I also tell them to secure a couple walls, because I kind of forgot which exact wall spawns monster, but I was like, oh, yeah, just block a couple of them.
A new cavern has been discovered.
There's the last miner. Now we just need more crystals.
Crystal has been found.
Unit teleported safely.
So here I was kind of calculating in my head, like, okay, I don't need to drill more. I got enough. So I deleted one chrome crusher and one tunnel transport. And now I'm telling them to slowly go back to their base. I'm also deleting some of the buildings.
Unit teleported safely. Guidance was excellent. Right, Rob.
Now next one, Air Raiders. Pretty tricky map. There's a lot of monster spawns I can't avoid. And there's a lot of, preloaded monsters. I also drill next to the support station, because that little spot always end up with landslides on top of the support station, and you don't want to lose that. And here's then a little technique where I just build one single path, and then I use the tool store as a 1x2 path to quickly lay down, because it's free, and that quickly connects up the buildings. Yeah, this map has like crystals all around, so there's no like single spot you can focus on and then get enough crystals and get away. It's kind of similar to run the gauntlet, because you notice I had to drill from the bottom to the top to get a base build, and then back down to the bottom again to get enough crystals and the remainder of the Lost Rock Raiders. I also built a mining laser, more of as a just in case. I won't really use it a lot. You see, I was like, oh, I'll shoot a couple times, but then I was like, I got the Chrome Crusher up. I don't need a laser. But it is as a just in case. And I do have also a few of them with guns as well. And I'm also now spawning one single transport truck. I think eventually I'll spawn in more. There's the second one. And there's the first little cavern, all the monsters, so they can blast away. And then I noticed there's a monster, and I was like, oh shoot, I forgot there's a spawn. So I'm reinforcing the walls to avoid that. And then there's the mining laser to quickly deal with him. And over there on the left side, you barely see it, that I quickly tell them, okay, reinforce that wall, because there was another spot where a monster can spawn. Another cavern with a lot of monsters around. But now the tree guys are easily making work of the monsters, because the green laser is quite effective against ice monsters.
An energy crystal has been found.
And now I'm building a forward path to have another little forward tool store. I'm also drilling carefully. I don't want to drill too close because I don't want to draw their attention yet. But once they're dealt with, then I can fully drill around. And here I noticed another monster. So I was kind of like, where did he spawn from? I didn't pay attention actually now, looking back to that, but it doesn't bother me too much. I mean, like I said, I have the mining lasers just in case. And here I noticed in the middle there's a lot of landslides happening, so I was like, let's secure them up, prevent the landslides, have them clear up so they can walk faster across all the areas. And then I called in another tunnel transport, because it can easily go over water if it needs to go across. Another interesting thing is about the alarm button. If the miners are hungry, they'll just ignore that they're hungry and they will constantly fight. So it's the most reliable way to have security up.
An energy crystal has been found.
So right now there's not much to talk about, it's just like a repeat. Open a cavern, clear up the pre-spawned monsters. Now there's one monster now slipped by, so it's kind of like, oh. But the mining laser has unlimited range basically, so I can blast them from across.
An energy crystal has been found.
And to be fair, I don't remember how bad or if it even properly worked at all in the original game with the whole mining laser thing. But yeah, in this game, the mining laser is very powerful.
An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been found.
Yeah, we're almost drilled through the entire map. Actually, this is one of the last cavern. I think there's another one a little further, but that's about it. And then I heard another monster appeared, and now this time I saw where he came from. So now this time I was like, okay, secure the walls, whoever has time.
An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been found.
A new cavern has been discovered.
An energy crystal has been found.
And now I'm pretty much done with drilling, so bringing it back to the base. Same with the tunnel transport. Just bring it to base, I'll delete it. Because that's crystals. The tool store on the left is getting now, you know, it starts to sink in the lava that's eroding. And I also have a couple transport trucks that I can delete. Now next one is I Spy. So in contrast with Air Raiders, this one has a fairly focused area with a lot of crystals. But the start can be a bit rough, because you have to build everything in such a specific location, because the whole thing is like sitting in the pit. You can't really see it in this top-down view. And you're a little starved on crystals at the start. So you see me there, I was a bit fiddling with the foundation. I was kind of like, oh, which way? Oh yeah, that way. 'Cause like I said, it's pretty fiddly. I also try to drill as little as possible, because there's a couple spots with extra crystals on the right side, but you know, it makes them walk more back and forth, and I'd rather have them focus more around the middle, getting my base at least a little started, so I don't have to worry about oxygen. And then I also made sure I already have the guns, because I do want to have a couple guys with guns. And then over there you can see I was kind of debating like, oh yeah, what was the spot? Because that's also a tricky spot to get a tool store and a canteen fit in there with one single pad. Because some spots are, you know, again, they're not valid. And with the canteen and tool store there, they can kind of chill in the front. Because right behind that solid rock, which we can't open yet, there's a lot of crystals in there.
Consider it done. Easy there. I can do that. Easy there. I can do that.
And now I should group up the gun guys.
Yeah. All right. Sorry.
I guess I did not. Oh, now I'm doing it, yeah. So now I'm getting them grouped up, I put them in the front, and then I put the alarm on so they stay where they are. And then I can drill that tiny little area where the monsters spawn from, and it opens a cavern with a lot of water. I also spawned in the second tunnel scout, because there's another area I want to open up, and it requires to cross over water. So I was kind of hoping, like, is someone at least in? And someone was, because sometimes they don't do that. But it's also why I turn off grabbing ore and clearing rubble, because then they're not occupied and they're more likely to do what you want and go in the vehicles. So now I'm also spawning in some transport trucks. I should have spawned it a little earlier. I at least have one running. And I think then I grabbed a miner manually and I'm like, yeah, go in the truck, because I want at least two going around. And now I also want a small digger.
Never too old.
An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been
Now I could have turned the alarm off earlier, but I was a bit more occupied with like, okay, is the small digger at least doing its work and running? Because say if a miner was hungry, and you tell him like, oh yeah, go in the vehicle, then he'll ignore it, and then he rather goes to the canteen or something.
An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been found.
So now here I wasn't quite sure if I have enough crystals. So I was like, oh, okay, drill down south. There will be a couple monsters, but we can kind of avoid most spawns. Although that one noticed me going around.
An energy crystal has been found.
Unit teleportation.
So I accepted the loss of the couple crystals, but I also know I have a couple vehicles, so delete a couple transport trucks, let them collect everything. If that was not enough, I also had then the support station and the
How you feeling?
power station to be deleted. Now this map, despite it has a requirement of 150 crystals, because you notice it's now amping up, because we're already way beyond 100 now, because we had a couple missions with 100. And this mission is quite infamous for being quite difficult, especially for kids back then. I never beaten it as a kid. But this mission is actually really easy, and it's actually really quick as well. So what I do is, I place my buildings very specifically, the key being the mining laser, so I made sure there's room, and also made sure the power station is pretty close to the recharge scene, because we will use the laser the entirety of this map. I also made sure I place 2 support stations, because I do want some extra miners around. But I also made sure I drill slowly, because if I keep drilling, everything is so loaded with crystals. Either I need to mess around with priority, but I also need ore, so I'll just drill very carefully. And then I plonk the mining laser and the super teleport. And once that's up, I start to blast at some of the monsters. But at the start you kind of have to be careful, because the mining laser can drain crystals like really quickly. Like here I've only 1 left, 0 left. I don't even have charge anymore. I also notice I have enough ore to upgrade the super teleport to level 2. So now I'm like, okay, stop getting ore and focus just on crystals and clearing rubble up. And now it's just blasting away, and here slowly switching to the vehicle menu, get another transport truck just to make things easier, because almost everything is reachable for the transport truck. There's a couple spots that I need a tunnel transport. So here I spawned another one, that's number 3. I think I'll stop at 3. I think now I was like, okay, I'll stop and get a tunnel transport eventually. So yeah, this little island, for example, that's a spot that a tunnel transport can't reach. But I kind of want to focus getting some of the monsters first, because yeah, the hitbox on the tunnel transport is as big as it looks, so it can get really in the way when you try to laser down the monsters. And I noticed no one was getting in the tunnel transport, so I manually told one guy to do it. Because there's so many crystals, so they're kind of like, ooh, let's grab this, and let's grab that. Rather than going in the vehicle. And another reason I set the location or the spot for the mining laser is really key. You'll see soon, because I have to do some really tricky snipes. It's coming up now. So there's that monster in the very corner, and I can barely hit it. Just that laser's there, and even that energy crystal seam in the very corner, I can even barely hit that. So yeah, I'm doing a quick sweep around, like, okay, how many do we have? And I'll just start deleting some of the transport trucks, because they can't reach everything, and I notice, okay, I'm close to 140. Once the tunnel transport's back, it holds a couple, but it also has 10. And I can even delete like the super teleport or one of the support stations, or even both. Now this mission, Hot Stuff, this is, in my opinion, the hardest, it's the trickiest map. There's a lot of triggers for monster spawns, and I try to avoid or delay them as much as possible. There's also a lot of slimy slugs. Along that, there's no concentrated area with crystals. There's a couple of little concentrated areas, but considering you need 200 crystals, yeah, that gets a bit difficult when certain spots may have 30, but then you need to find another spot that have also maybe 30, and you know, and then there's a lot of like ones, or maybe a double, or maybe here and there an energy crystal seam. So it gets pretty challenging. And this run might have almost died, because eventually I did not pay attention. I did not manage my base very well. I had the mining laser power cut off twice, because the mining laser, I have that also, much like in Air Raiders, just as a backup, because of how powerful it is against monsters. But yeah, well, if the power is cut off, then I can't do anything. And even the support station's power got cut off. You'll see it eventually. So I was like, oh, derp, I did not build a power pad for the mining laser yet. But then I'll switch off, like, oh no, I don't need it yet. I'm a bit low on crystals, I'd rather have like the extra support station. And I also grouped my guys with guns on one again, and then I press one and click on the monster. So that's another way to focus your miners to shoot certain monsters, not to have the alarm off, because that is randomized, or it's not fully randomized, they prioritize the nearest monster. But if I do, for example, leave the alarm off and then press the group that have guns and click on a monster, then they'll go only to the monster and then they'll go back to the regular task. I also put an electric fence, again, just in case, because this mission is quite something. So now I have the super teleport to level 2, I have all the buildings that I really need, so again, ores turned off. Cleaning is fine, but I need to get crystals and focus on drilling. But I'm a bit low on crystals, because I only have 2 spares. And I want to have the chrome crush up straight away, which is 8. Although, I did put a transport truck, that doesn't matter, because there's still plenty of crystals I have to drill.
Acknowledged.
And now I have 8 crystals, and now I can have the chrome crusher up. And now the slimy slugs are coming. So now I'll have the alarm constantly on until the end of the mission, basically.
An energy crystal has been found.
I'm also spawning in a tunnel transport, because we'll need it later. But I first want to get some near crystals, just to have a bit of a buffer in case I want to spawn in different vehicles or another, you know, tunnel transport, because those are really useful for this mission. Because there will be a spot that has a lot of crystals where you need to go over lava. So I'm here drilling a little cavern out. I think I drilled it further to have another little shortcut, and then I go over with the lava. At least that's how I usually like to do it. Yep, there you go. So again, piggyback the chrome crusher. I spawn in another tunnel transport because I have enough crystals. And then we go over lava. Now you do notice there's a couple of energy crystal seams on a bit of the middle bottomish of the screen. Yeah, I don't want to get those yet, because that has a lot of triggers around for monsters. So I kind of want to focus... Alright, I'll focus first in this top bit, because this has a lot of crystals. And I don't want to have, like, monster respawns going on here, because you'll soon see how many crystals this spawns. Like, that's already a seam with extra crystals. Another seam, another one. And here I was kind of checking just in case there was no monster coming around, like some random ass spawn that maybe I've forgotten a trigger about, but it didn't, so I'll continuously drill around. And now the chrome crush is done in this area. I piggybacked it again on the tunnel transport, called in another one, so that's number 3. I also told the raiders, okay, don't bother with clearing any rubble anymore. And then there's another neat little spot you can get here. And basically what I'm doing is, while the chrome crusher is being carried by the tunnel transport, if you click on the combination, like the tunnel transport chrome crusher, and you press X, you can use the chrome crusher's laser to break certain rocks. So I'm breaking the hard rock that was against the lava, because else there's no other way to do it. Unless you call in a large mobile laser cutter and then have the unique upgrade for being able to drive on lava. But yeah, I'm drilling in such a specific way that avoids most of the triggers. It doesn't avoid always every trigger, but it avoids most of it. So here I tried to laser around the monster, but it aimed at him. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do it, because I don't want that monster to trigger yet. And now from here I have the angle to shoot, and now I have an opening. And here you see I can try to hit it, but did not hit it. And then they came with the guns and killed them, so I was like, okay, cool. Slimy slug is invading your base. And now I notice, oh, I still didn't build the mining lasers. I'm like, oh, let me get the mining laser up, like, as in case. And here you can see me use the chrome crusher's laser to sometimes drill around him, because I have enough vehicles that they can just snatch the crystals around them. Now here I notice one monster got around, so I have to close it up with the electric fences again. And here I even build it more inwards. And now I'm actually using a mining laser to open up a shortcut. Actually, I wanted them originally to focus more on the left corner, because there's a cavern with a couple crystals, but they didn't want to go there. I also deleted one of my tunnel transports, because I felt like 4 is a bit overkill now, because I don't need to go over lava anymore. Oh, and here it happens. So he cut off the power on my mining laser, and he cut off the power on my support station. But I did not notice the latter one until like later in the run. So here I kind of was like, okay, I'll just manually tell them to go towards these monsters. So I'm letting now the slugs to, you know, bother my base, drain some of the crystals, but that's fine because we have recharge seams. What was more important for me now is to get more crystals. And here I even used the mining laser to get rid of the slugs, because there was like, what, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them or something? And here I delete another tunnel transport, because again, I still want to keep some of them, because they're really safe vehicles to use. And they're also quite tanky actually compared to a small transport truck. But yeah, you can see I really have to open up the entire map. And now that upper part with the energy crystal, I really want to do that as the last resort.
An energy crystal has been found.
A slimy slug is invading your base.
An energy crystal has been found.
A slimy slug is invading your base.
A new cavern has been discovered.
A slimy slug is invading your base. A slimy slug is invading your base.
So here now I noticed the sound that my oxygen is running out, so I was like, what the hell? So I deleted some of them out of reaction, and I was like, okay, build a new one.
Slimy slug is invading your base.
An energy crystal has been found.
Slimy slug is invading your base.
And now I'm going around the spots where all the triggers are, so now they're slowly coming up. And I noticed even one was running around.
Slimy slug is invading your base.
And there was a little gap there in the electric fence. That's actually my bad that I didn't notice.
An energy crystal has been found.
Slimy slug is invading your base.
An energy crystal has been found.
Slimy slug is invading your base. Slimy slug is invading your base.
Tunnel transport.
Unit teleported safely. Slimy slug is invading your base. Lava monster. Slimy slug is invading your base.
And I just barely got the monster dead before he cut off my power from the
Slimy slug
mining laser. Again.
unit teleported safely. Collecting
So I lost a little time there. It went pretty decent, but not cleanly.
unit teleported safely.
Right, so this map,
That's more powerful mining.
I kind of do a similar strategy as with hot stuff, and that's by drilling in certain ways. I'll avoid a lot of monster spawns. Now, however, in this case, this map is a bit different though, because there's a lot of crystals focused in one area. It's like 200 plus something in one area, although we need 350 crystals, which is insane. Now again, I do set up the laser just as in case. One of the important things is I need the recharge seam, which I have found. You can see it in the corner, but you do need to open a bit further up, because a corner like that is not usable. But we are a bit starved on crystals, because you notice my mining laser is not powered, my teleport pad is not powered. I'm slowly getting crystals. I also made sure, again, a couple guys have guns, although that monster almost got blown up by the dynamite. And I'm slowly killing some of the monsters that are in the middle. Because eventually I'll also run a non-stop alarm because of all the slimy slugs that constantly will spawn. And here I ran out of energy crystals, they were all drained, or the buildings needed them. And them walking all the way in the middle up there does cause some spawns. So which is why I was kind of conservative with my energy crystals there. Just so I can kill those two respawns. And this is actually a level I don't use electric fences, because I feel like it takes too much time to properly set it up. And like I said, it's a fairly open map, and it's a lot easier to avoid a lot of the spawns. Now all the rock monsters in the very middle, where the lava is all the way dealt with, so now they'll only focus on other monsters or slimy slugs. So now we're set up basically. I'll never go to the middle again. And I also got the Chrome Crusher, I got the Super Teleport to level 2. And as so far as you've seen, often enough in this run, the ore priority gets turned off.
Easy there.
And now with the Chrome Crusher we'll slowly work our way, getting a couple crystals to get some vehicles up. This is also one of the only missions I spawn in a loader dozer, because there's so much rubble around, and there's a couple of very long hallways that I want to keep clean. And you see me, I'm also reinforcing a lot of walls, because this is one of those hallways. There's going to be two of these very long ones. Now that loader dozer took a lot more damage than I usually want to see. And then I call upon another support station, so I want to have 30 miners eventually.
A new cavern has been discovered.
And this is one of the areas that has a couple of crystals that kind of starts to get my base going, at least vehicle-wise. Because the base itself, when it comes to buildings, is now perfect to me. But I do plan a few forward tool stores, like for example here.
Dad,
An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been found.
And then I also pre-plan another forward tool store, because eventually that solid wall will be opened up. And that's also why I build a canteen, so they don't go all the way back towards the main base. And now we're basically done on that right side for now. And now I'm spawning in a couple of vehicles, as you can see. The small transport truck and the tunnel transport, which we will desperately need later. It makes things so much easier, because again, we're going to piggyback the Chrome Crusher.
new cavern has been discovered.
And I think now he destroyed my... Yep, he destroyed my loader dozer. But it's fine, we can call on anyone. We have plenty of crystals. Although it takes them awfully long to deal with that rock monster. Yeah, now the right side's fully done. So now we're going towards the left side of the map. And here I'm utilizing the mining laser a bit, because it is quite powerful to blast rocks down. But it's just to open that little cavern again where there's a couple of pre-spawned monsters and it has a couple crystals. So here Rockmon spawns really close to the base, so I was like, okay, reinforce the walls, it will prevent the spawn.
An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been found. An energy crystal has been found.
And this is the second long hallway I mentioned where I need to load a dozer and secure all the walls. Because you could drill these down, and that also prevents spawns and prevents maybe, you know, mess with the whole landslide. But there's a couple of triggers or monster spawns behind them, so I just want to avoid to drill those. Because that makes things just so much easier. And the only reason I secure them is not for the monster spawns to prevent them, but more so for the landslides. So now that's enough for the loader dozer. It can be called back. And now I am waiting till the crystals are grabbed. And now I'm going to purposely trigger these ice monsters. And they'll all wake up and they're all going over water, because that's what they can do. But they're all funneled down in that little hallway, so they're not going to be a threat. And I also still have the mining laser in case one of them does somehow slip by everything. As you can see, all of them are like half-life now. But I do notice a couple slip down, but I got the mining laser. And now they're all gone.
A monster has appeared.
And then I noticed, oh, a monster spawned, because I heard it. So I did see where he spawned from, and I instantly called in, okay, reinforce. Because again, it prevents more respawns. Then over here I have to wait a little bit. Because there's a couple of crystals there, and there's like regular rock monsters, but they cannot go over water. So once the crystals are gone, and if they wake up, the AI will be like, okay, there's not much to do. So here I accidentally triggered him a little too early, so he is going towards the location where the crystal was, but then, you know, once he got onto the location, he was like, oh, crystal's gone. Okay, bye. And same with these, I'll trigger them and they'll instantly go back in the wall and not going to be a bother for me. So here, same idea. I'm waking them up. They can go over lava, but they cannot go over water. So I'm just manually flying over them, triggering them, and same dealio. Oh, there's no crystals, there's no buildings that they can reach. We'll go back in the wall. And then this little specific spot has like 3 crystals in one rock. It also has a respawn script, so by just making that little hole in there, both prevents the spawns and also it's 3 crystals for free. And now we're starting to get to the cavern where there's a lot of crystals. But there's also lava monsters, so we do have to be careful. We do need to make sure all the crystals are grabbed. So here the AI was not quite doing what I wanted to, because I want to have one tunnel transport around, because it's much faster, because I want to, you know, quickly drive over them, fly over them, wake them up, just so they'll all disappear. And once that's done, then I can start drilling. And I'm actually focusing on this bottom bit, where you can see that I'm drilling, because that also has a respawn script. I've kind of forgot now on the back of my head where the trigger was for that one, but there's somewhere a pretty common trigger for that. Yeah, now we have all the crystals. And as you can see, I pre-built that tool store in the canteen like earlier, where all the ice monsters were. And now it's like an easy pick up and drop off. And the canteen is there in case they're hungry, so they don't have to go all the way across the map to grab a sandwich. And while this is going, I still have constantly an alarm going off, as you can see, because it's still kind of like reddish. Because, yeah, slimy slugs are constantly bothering you. Now you could say, and I had done this strategy before, that I move the base way up there, and then slimy slugs will take ages to get there. But once they do manage to drain the crystal, you have to go all the way across the map to recharge the crystal, because there's only one recharge seam in the entire map, and it's the one that I covered or uncovered in the very beginning of the run. Oh, here's the tunnel transport glitching out. I was like, oh god, don't do this to me. Because I want to get those 2 spots and a few spots on the left side. Just to get another crystal. So here I manually grabbed the tunnel transport. Once it went over the lava, I pressed C to drop the crystals. Just so someone else can grab it. And I can piggyback the chrome crusher over to this side. I couldn't see where the other transport was. I guess I was recharging one of my crystals. Because I want to dig a little further here, because there's another spot with a couple crystals. Like 3 of them or something like that. Yeah, so then I heard the prompt, like energy crystals found. I was like, okay, I've dug far enough. Because if I dig further, I'll find another cavern, which is like an ore seam cavern. And that also has like a lava monster respawn point. And now I'm slowly taking down vehicles, parts of the base. I also already deleted the super teleport. I keep the laser up, again, just in case. And I saw, you know, small transport truck coming, also delete them.
You're in command.
Unit teleported safely. Support station.
And it's quite a walk for them. So I was kind of waiting, delaying before I deleted my support stations. But yeah, that's the run. I hope you enjoyed the post commentary and some inside information, because it's a fun run to do so, and you hear my reaction.
Collected enough energy crystals to get the Rock Raiders team back home.
Damn,
You're amazing.
what a run!
Mission complete.
I was pretty quiet. I'll add a post commentary, because it's an interesting run to actually do. But damn, that's a really clean run. Oh, looking at the in-game time, that's actually better than what I was estimating. For transparency, I'll show the settings as I did in the beginning of the run. There you go. But yeah, I think the only map that was really weak was Hot Stuff, and even then, that's talking about maybe a minute. All the other maps went really well. Overall, I'm very happy with this run. And I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, a cool map. It's way different than, you know, Standard, which is a really quick run. Yeah, again, as I said before, hope you enjoyed it, and perhaps see you in a different type of run.